guys! As you know, I love bound planners, and one of the great things about bound planners is that you can put them inside covers. So unsurprisingly, I have acquired quite a substantial collection of notebook covers, and today I thought I would show you all of them and tell you my thoughts about each one. They belong to a few different categories, so we'll go through each category one by one. The first category of covers is Hobonichi covers, and as you can see, I've got a few of these. So this is an A6 cover, and this is from the basic range. I think they call it the colors range. It is available every year, but the colors change from year to year. So this is one of the 2016 colors. Typically, they have one color on the outside and then a different color on the pen loops and the inside. So this one is blue on the outside, green on the inside. I really like Hobonichi covers from this basic range. I often find that I like at least one color combination, usually not more than that, but there's generally one that I really like. And I love the Hobonichi design. So they've got this great pocket configuration here where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of like this type of pocket, and then you have this further smiley face pocket, then another full-length pocket here, and another one here. This is where the notebook slots in, but you can obviously also use it to put more things in. So really fantastic setup. And then on the back you have even more awesome pockets. This kind of flat secretarial pocket, another pocket here, and then this further one where the notebook goes in on the other side. And you also have a pocket on the back. I've never actually used this one, but I just kind of like the option of having it there. And then you've got these great pen loops which fit any kind of pen, literally, like even the most gigantic pen. And you can either use a single pen, put it through both of them, and that keeps the notebook closed, or you can use multiple pens in each one. So I love the layout. And then it's got these two bookmarks with the iconic Hobonichi symbols there. So I love everything about this design. The only thing that I don't like about these covers is the nylon. I like the nylon in that I like the feel and I like the look of it, but I found last year that it scratched and stained very easily. And I think that this is a pretty common problem because they sell these plastic cover-on covers, they're called, like a plastic cover that you put over this. And the idea is that it's supposed to protect the cover. I tried the cover-on covers and I just don't like them. I think this is just a personal thing to me because they're quite popular overall. And they have some cool aspects in that they're see-through. So if you put one over your cover, you can put like a postcard or a picture in, and then you can kind of have a dashboard that changes. But I just don't like the feel of them. They make it bulky, and I don't like the look, and I just don't like it being covered in plastic. And that's just me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but I decided that the cover-on-cover is not for me. And therefore, these are kind of a bit too delicate for me because I don't like to have to worry about my covers. So even if, say, this is staying inside and I'm not going to be taking it in and out of my bag, I don't like to worry about it getting stained and scratched and, ink spots on it and not being able to get them off. Last year, I have to say that most of the stains came off quite easily just with like soapy water. But I would rather have something that is a bit more durable that I don't have to worry about at all. So that is the colors, the basic range of the Hobonichi covers. At the moment, I've got my second half of my Avec A6 notebook in this. So that's that one. Then this is one of the like kind of limited edition covers that they bring out every year. So this is, I think it's called World Folk Patterns or something like that. Every year they have at least like one or two different designs that are inspired by some kind of like global artistic tradition. This one was inspired by, I think, 18th century French plates, and I just like the pattern. This one is a different material. It's made out of cotton, so it's cotton on the outside and on the inside, and as you can see, the pen loops are a different color from the outside. This one isn't available anymore. It was from the 2015 spring range, so it's like more than a year old, and they always discontinue them after a year at the most. Usually, as soon as they sell out, they discontinue them. So this has the same problem as this, even though it's a different fabric. Because it's fabric, you can see that it's got a couple of stains on it. And I haven't really used this very much. I've used it as a cover for a couple of notebooks, not actually Hobonichis, which is one of the things that I like about these, is that these will fit any A5 notebook. So you don't need to have a Hobonichi. You can have a Leuchtturm notebook or a Moleskine notebook. They'll fit any A5 notebook, which is great because it makes them very flexible. This has the same back pocket. It's got exactly the same design as this one that I showed you from the basic range. So I like this one, but again, I'm kind of worried about the fact that it's got these. I'm going to try to clean this. It's not been dirty enough to really bother me that much, but it is still an issue. But like the quality is great, really nice stitching. Everything is just beautifully finished, as on all the Hobonichi covers. And this one has this kind of special design on the bookmarks, at the end of the bookmarks. Instead of the typical Hobonichi designs at the end, it's got these octagonal shaped ones that match the plates on the front. So this is a nice one. At the moment, it's not doing anything. I don't have anything in this, but I'm keeping it because, like I said, it's so versatile that I could put any A5 notebook in it. This is another special edition. This is from the so-called TENP range, T-E-N-P, and this is a woven pattern. So I think that they bring this out every year. At least they had it last year and they had it this year, but it was completely different designs. I really like this design. This is supposed to be inspired by a forest, and it does really feel like a kind of stylized, almost like a video game sort of pattern forest, and I really, really like it. This is, again, a different material. This is woven fabric, so woven cotton fabric, and the inside is a faux leather. And then it's got the bookmarks with the typical designs, the triangle and the rectangle, and all of the same pocket configurations, and the back pocket. So I love this one. This one was the one that I used for my cousin for most of last year. I used it until the new covers came out in September. And I really, really love it. The only problem with this one is, as you can see, it has got quite mucky. And I was actually using this a lot. So this was going in and out of my bag. I was taking it to university. It was going everywhere with me. And it's considerably more gray than it was at the beginning of the year. It started off as a kind of off-white. And this has made me sad because I'd like to be able to clean this, and I'm not sure the best way to clean it. James suggested taking it to the dry cleaners, which seemed like the best idea, better than anything I could think of. The only other things we could think of was like kind of to put it like this in a bowl of some like baking soda or something. But I'm worried about that because I'm not sure what this material is like, and I don't know if that would ruin it. So I'm thinking of taking this to the dry cleaner. If anyone has tips on how to clean a Hobonichi cover like this, or doesn't have to be a Hobonichi cover, any kind of notebook cover made out of fabric, let me know. I'd be very grateful. But that is that one. I love it and I'd like to keep it, so I just have to figure out how to clean it. Then this is another interesting Hobonichi cover. This is another A5 cover, and this is from the SACK range, S-S-A-C-K. So I did a whole review on this cover, which I'll link below, so you can find out about it all in detail. But basically it's a silicone cover, and it's very different to the typical Hobonichi design because it has this closure. It's kind of like an elastic closure, but it's all made out of a single piece of silicone. I think it might be joined together in some places, but it kind of feels like a single piece. And it's very minimalist in the design. You just have this one flap, which is like a bookmark. And then you have one credit card slot, which you can obviously use to put stickers in. Then it's just got these two flaps where the notebook goes, and one bookmark, which is made out of the same piece of silicone material, and a pen loop, which is just designed for a pen clip. So much more streamlined, downsized, minimalist than the typical Hobonichi covers. And I love this. I really like the design. I like how sleek it is. It's very figure hugging, if that's the right kind of word to use for a notebook cover. I'll show you my A6. So this is the A6 version of the same thing, and I'm using this as the cover for my gratitude journal, which is the first half of my Avec notebook. And as you can see, it just fits it really well. It's quite a bit smaller than the typical Hobonichi covers, the nylon one. So if we just put them together, you can see that the nylon one is quite a bit bigger. So this one really just fits around the notebook, and that's it. And I like that. It makes it very lightweight and portable. It still has the bookmark, and it's still got the pen loop. So you don't have as many pocket options, but because I have so many planners that I use for different things, I don't actually put stickers and information and receipts and all kinds of stuff in every single one. So this being a gratitude journal, I really don't need any kinds of things in the pocket. So I don't need pockets, and this suits me just fine. So I love this. Oddly, for some reason, I don't know if it's something to do with this color. I'm assuming it's the color because this only comes in A5. This color I think comes in A5 and A6, but this color only comes in A6. So I can't do a direct comparison of them. This one feels like it has a different texture than this one. This one is a lot like kind of smoother and sleeker, and this one is a bit like stickier almost, like tacky. And I'm assuming it's because of that. This one picks up dust. It's just like a magnet for fur, dust, any kind of dirt. And it's very, very hard to keep it clean. And that bugged me because I used this as the cover for my Hobonichi cousin for probably 3 or 4 months. And it was just constantly covered in like this kind of sandy, dusty, furry texture, which I just got sick of, and I eventually switched it out for another cover, which I'll show you momentarily. And that's a shame because I love this cover. I love it in every other respect. This one doesn't have that problem. I've been using this since January for my gratitude log, and it's absolutely fine. It doesn't have that issue at all. So I think that the sack covers in general are great, but this one seems to have a particular issue. I'm hoping that in September, when they bring out the new designs, that there will be a new and improved sack. So that's the story with the sacks. Then we come to the Hobonichi covers. So I've got 2 covers that are identical to Hobonichi covers, except that they're not actually made by the Hobonichi brand. They're like kind of brand X. I don't actually know what this brand is because it's not written anywhere on the planner. I got these from an Etsy shop called Love by Gabby. I'm always mentioning this Etsy shop because it's one of my favorite places to get unusual, hard to find planner supplies. I'll link it below. You would never be able to tell that it's not a Hobonichi, except for the fact that it doesn't have the Hobonichi logo on it. And one other difference in the bookmark. So it comes in purple and aqua, and she's just recently got a pink one in. I bought this one, and then this one was sent to me in an amazing rack by my friend from Finland. Thank you, Nanna. So as you can see, everything is the same, except that this is faux leather, vegan leather, which Hobonichi doesn't actually make. And that is my major complaint about Hobonichi covers, is that they have the nylon ones, they have the various fabric ones, they have the silicone one, and then they have some leather ones. And I think that that's a real shame. I wish that they had some faux leather ones exactly like this. This is like my dream Hobonichi cover. I was wishing that there were a purple faux leather Hobonichi cover, and then I saw this and I was like, oh my god. Unfortunately, I've had this since I think December, and I've been using it non-stop in my cousin, and the quality is fantastic. There are no marks on it. It's really hard wearing, as with all of my other cousin covers, because this is my work planner. I use this every day. I take it in with me to university. I have it out all day at home. I'm carrying it around with me from room to room. No marks, nothing. It's just absolutely beautiful, not showing any signs of wear. I'm really happy about that. It has exactly the same pocket configuration as the cousin, except I think, let me see. No, identical. Exactly the same. Same pen loops. This side, yes. No, it's the same as this as well. I think there's some minor differences between the A6 and the A5. So what I was showing you before was the A6. And then if you compare that to the A5, you can see that there are a couple of differences. So this one, the A5 has got these 2 pockets below the smiley pocket, whereas the A6 doesn't. And then the A6 has got these 2 pockets here, whereas the A5 just has the 1 flat pocket. So it's exactly the same, but as you can see, this says Hobonichi 2015 here, and this one doesn't say anything. The only other difference that I've noticed is the bookmarks. So the material on this bookmark, this is the Hobonichi cover, is a bit flimsier, and it's already kind of showing some signs of wear, like some fibers are coming away. You can see it's kind of like pulling. So that is the only thing that is a little bit disappointing. I've just decided that if this does disintegrate, I'll just cut it off and it will be okay. I'll find some other way to mark the pages. But compared to the Hobonichi bookmarks, the Hobonichi bookmarks are made of some like really tough, I guess, nylon, because this one I use, like I said, for probably more than 6 months, you know, like really heavy duty wear, and there's absolutely no signs of any problems. And you can also feel like this one feels a lot thicker than this one, but that's the only difference, absolute only difference. So I've got this in purple and lilac, and I really love both of these. So that is it for the Hobonichi and Hobonichi-style covers. Then we move on to the Filofax Flexes. So I might have mentioned this before in another video. Filofax Flex was actually my gateway drug to the planner community. This was how I first got into the YouTube planner world, because James bought a Filofax, a ring Filofax. No, actually, sorry, he got given one as a birthday present. And I got some birthday money because our birthdays are both in January. And he said, oh, maybe you want to get a Filofax too. And I was like, oh, no, I don't like the idea of rings. Never, never, never. At the time I had a bound planner, but it was just like a very cheap, basic kind of no brand planner in Hebrew, which I liked because it had the Jewish holidays on it. So we went looking and discovered this. And I was like, oh, what's that? I like that. That doesn't have rings. And it was purple, faux leather. I really, really like this. So I bought this and I put a Moleskine in it. And then we searched on YouTube to see if we could find any videos on how people had set up their flexes and their Filofaxes. And that was it. As they say, the rest is history. You know what happened from then on. Now I am like this crazy planner addict with like 57,000 planners. So what I really love about the Filofax Flex is that it's flexible. Haha. So it comes in a few different sizes. It comes in A5 and then a slim size, which is kind of like the Hobonichi Weeks, but it's actually smaller, which is a shame because you can't use it as a Hobonichi Weeks cover. It's kind of like that, but slim. And then it comes in a pocket size, which is tiny. It's smaller than the ringed pocket-sized planners. And it also comes in an A4, which I have as well. So I'll show you both of those. And the A5 it comes in purple and black, which I also have, and gray, and I think magenta. For some reason, each size comes in a different variety of colors. So obviously I love the purple one. And what's cool about this and makes it different from Hobonichi covers is that it has more opportunities for you to put different notebooks in. So it's designed for you to be able to put a notebook in here, and then also here, which you could do with a Hobonichi cover. The Hobonichi cover is designed for you to put a single book in, right? Like, so you put one end in here, one end in here. But you could technically also put one in here and then one in there and just have them separate, if you see what I mean. Like have one open this way and one open that way. The Flex is designed to be able to do that. So you can put one notebook in this way, one notebook in this way, and then you can also put a notebook in here. This is just a sheet of blotter paper. And then you could put another one in here if you wanted to. So I think that's really cool because you have all different kinds of configurations that you can do with this. And it's got a pen loop on this cardboard sheet. This is the one thing that I don't like about it. I feel like this is not very high quality compared to, say, the Hobonichi, which is just beautifully finished in all respects. This is kind of cheap seeming to me. It's got this pen loop, and then it's kind of attached to this piece of cardboard. The reason that they did it like this is because they want you to be able to put the pen loop anywhere you want. So you can put it like this and have it on the inside, or you can put it like this and have it on the outside. You can buy another one. The replacement ones only come in gray, which is a bit of a shame because you can't get another purple one or another black one, say. But you could have two pen loops on the outside and make it kind of like the Hobonichi cover, except that they both will meet. They'll be at the same place. Although I think that, let's see, if you turn it the other way around, it's a slight, yeah, you can get it so that it's like that. And then if you have a really, really thin pen, you could do the same thing that you can with the Hobonichi cover, where you put the pen in through both loops and then it closes the book. So I can understand why they've done it like that. It just kind of has the effect of seeming a bit I don't know, not as elegantly finished as the Hobonichi covers, but it's very useful because I have had it before where I had a highlighter and a pen, and I had them both in here. And then I had two books, one on this side and one on this side. And when you closed it, it just looked like this. It was very clean and neat, and you didn't have any pen loops on the outside, and I really liked that. Then you also have room for a jot pad, like a, you know, kind of reporter style pad, and they actually send one with this. It comes with a jot pad here, and then it comes with a lined notebook, A5 notebook. But then you know, obviously you can put diary refills or whatever you want to put in, and then it's also got these card slots, and you could even put another notebook in this, like a notepad, like kind of going that direction. So I think that the opportunities for the Flex are just really limitless, and I love it. I'm still using it. I'm using this one as the cover for my dream journal, and I'm using this one at the moment as my daily planner. So this has got a Stalogy A5 notebook in it, and this is the black one, so it's got a black pen loop. And so I'm kind of not using these to their full capacity, I guess, because I could you know, like put lots of different notebooks in different types of configurations, but I don't really need it for that at the moment. That's the sort of thing that would be good for if you were using it as your main planner and you had like a planner on one side, a notebook on the other side, and then you know, like maybe a shopping list here. I did have it like that when I was using this as my main planner. So lots of opportunities for these, and I really like them. I'd say in terms of quality, they're not as good as the Hobonichi covers in that I've had this for about 2.5 years, but it hasn't been in constant use the whole time. It was in quite heavy use for the first, I'd say maybe like year and 2 months. And you can see that this is kind of cracking a bit, but nothing major. It's, you know, I think it's still got a good amount of use left in it. It's just that I think compared to the Hobonichi cover, because this started cracking relatively early on, so it's like maybe I would say this isn't actually even Hobonichi, but this Hobonichi cover is really, really good quality, and so are the Hobonichi covers. This is like quite good quality, but not quite the same. And this is the A5 version, the A4 version, which comes in blue and black and maybe grey. And it's exactly the same, except that it's got some more pockets going this way. This is like too big for the frame. And it has this little pen loop. So it has, I think this is the like maybe pen loop of the pocket size version. And for some reason it only comes in gray. So it just slots out like that. And I'm using this as a cover for a Russian textbook that I was taking a Russian course, and this was the textbook that they gave, and it was comb bound, and so I put it in here, and now it looks beautiful. But it's got the same array, so you know, if you wanted to, I mean, most people don't have an A4 planner, but if you had like, I don't know, an A4, I was using this at one point as a cover for my lesson plan. So I had, for teaching, I had one like set of course notes in an extra large Moleskine cahier, and I had them on one side, and then I had like a photocopy with course handouts on the other side, and it was great. So it's, again, very flexible, really, really good, and like nice range of options, and just a very nice feel, good quality. So that is the Filofax Flex, and I feel like they're not as well known as, or they're not as popular as I think they should be. Maybe because of the popularity of Fodoris, because it's a similar idea, except with the Fodoris you have the elastic, so you can put different notebooks on that way, whereas with this you don't have any elastics, you just have these different like kind of pockets that you can slot notebooks into. And I actually like this because it's easier to put a bigger notebook in. So I kind of like, I'm not really a huge fan of like the sort of small typical Midori, Fodori inserts. Again, not that there's anything wrong with them, that's just been my experience. I like kind of big chunky planners and notebooks. And for this, it's kind of more designed for that, if that makes sense. So that's the Flex. Then while we're on the subject of Filofax, this is a kind of DIY adventure thing. So you might have seen this because I did a video on this a few months ago. This is an A5 domino, but in an incredible feat of DIY, I de-ringed it, which is something that I didn't think I would be able to do because I'm not very crafty or good at DIY, but it was actually not that hard. You do need a drill, but it's pretty easy. And this is what it looks like. And I wanted to do this because I really, really like the domino. But as you know, I'm not a huge ring planner person. So I thought that a domino look, but without the rings, would be awesome. And indeed it is. So I think that someone that's maybe craftier than me could go a step further and turn this into a fodori, but I couldn't handle that. I was just very happy when I managed to get it de-ringed and got buttons. These are jeans buttons that I put on here to close up the holes. So it's got all of the features of a domino except for the rings, and so you can put in anything that's A5 or actually a bit bigger in here, any kind of notebook. And it's got the pen loop and everything, so I really like this, but at the moment it doesn't have anything in it, but I'm keeping it because I'm sure that at some point I'll find a use for it. So that's the end of the Filofax category. Then we've got my Cork travel wallet, and this is perfect as a Hobonichi Weeks cover. So this comes from the site, well, it's www.cork.com. I'll leave that link down below as well, but it's a company that makes things out of cork. So it's like kind of proper vegan leather in that it has a look and the feel and the texture of leather, but it's made out of the cork tree. So it's sustainable and like eco-friendly and biodegradable and compostable, and they're really great. And they mostly make bags and wallets, but they just happen to have this one travel wallet that is the perfect size to fit in Hobonichi Week. So it's not intended as a week cover, but through an intensive search, because I was desperate to find a week's cover, I ended up stumbling upon this and found out that it works perfectly. So I've got this in two colors. This is the light color and this is the dark color. And I've been using this again for probably nearly 6 months. 5 months, and it's holding up really well. It's beautiful. There are no marks on it. It's again extremely hard wearing because I'm using this as my wallet, and so I take this in and out of my bag every day, and it's fantastic. And it's got a lot of pockets, so you can see all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 credit card pockets, and then another pocket for a photo, and then it's got this secretarial pocket, and then another pocket back here. It's like really as if it were designed for a planner. It's incredible. And then you have another pocket here, and I keep cash there, and then you've got this pocket that you slot the weeks into, and then on the back it's got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 credit card pockets. It doesn't have a pen loop. I made this pen loop so you can very easily make a pen loop. This is a Leuchtturm pen loop that it's just stuck onto a card, and I put it in here, so that works perfectly. And so I really recommend these. I think they are great. Unfortunately, they don't make any other sizes. They don't make any planner covers. I wish that they did. Maybe at some point in future they will, because like I would buy them all. they're great. So that's Cork. And then we move on to the final category, which is the disc agendas from Dokibook. So I'm including these in this category because they meet all of the criteria of a notebook cover in that they're designed for disc-bound planners, but you could actually use these to put any other kind of, A5-ish sort of notebook in. So these are a bit bigger than A5 because the disc agendas themselves are A5, so that the covers are a bit bigger to accommodate them, and they just slot in like this. So they work in the same way as a Hobonichi cover or a Filofax Flex. They're exactly the same. And they're really, really good quality, just beautiful stitching. It comes in 3 different colors. There's turquoise, a black, and a rose gold. The turquoise and the rose gold have 2 options. You can either get an elastic closure or you can get a snap closure. The black one only comes in a snap closure. When I originally got these, my preference has always been for elastic closures, and I've got a couple of ring planners from Dokibook with the elastic closures, and I love them. But when I got these, I realized that actually the elastic, because it's fabric, it has the same problem as other fabric covers in that it stains quite easily, and it can also, it can catch on things, and you can get like snags, and I'm not sure how to clean it. Exactly the same problem is with my fabric Hobonichi covers. So I'm kind of regretting not getting the snap, because the snap is made out of the same material as the rest of it. It's again vegan leather, so it would be much more durable, but it's still beautiful. So they have just really nice stitching, a beautiful feel. And then when you open them, they have all of these amazing pockets. So I love the Dokibook pocket configurations. I've talked about that before. So they have these really, really nice... Sorry if you could hear barking in the background, that's Tails. He's seen something on the street that has offended him. They have this pocket here, which is cute, but I don't actually find this particularly functional. You can use it to put like flake stickers in, or if you were using this as a wallet, you could put coins in it, but it kind of makes it a bit bulkier. Quite a bit bulkier. So I sort of wish it didn't have that. The Manta, the black one, doesn't have it, and it's just like nice and sleek and smooth, and it kind of makes the profile slimmer in comparison. So I actually sort of would opt not to have the pocket if I could. But other than that, I just love the pocket configuration. And then it's just got a secretarial pocket here, just a flap. So unlike the Flex, you can't really put another notebook in here. I mean, you could, but it would sort of bump into the pockets and it wouldn't be like securely held down. So the Flex and the Hobonichi cover really allow you to have 2 notebooks, whereas this only allows you to have 1. But it doesn't have to be a disc agenda. It could be any other A5 notebook. So this is a 7 Seas writer from nanamipaper.com, and this is my dream journal, which I'm currently failing at, but I still have hope. So you see that if you put it in, there's quite a bit of room at the top and the bottom, but it looks fine. Like you do have extra space, but it's totally legit. You could absolutely use it for that. This is just like a typical A5 size. So you could use this as a Hobonichi cover as well, or as a cover for any other A5 or slightly larger notebook. It's too big to fit the it's too small to fit the Happy Planner. The Happy Planner is too big for it. You can't use it as a Happy Planner cover unless you cut down the Happy Planner a little bit. But anything A5 or slightly bigger, it will be great. And so this just slots in here. And then it has another pocket here, and it has this great pen loop, which is like really, really good, elastic, very accommodating pen loop. And that's what it looks like on the back. And then the rose gold one is identical. Everything is the same. It's got the same pockets. It's got the same pen loop. Everything is the same. I'm using this as my Jewish calendar, which obviously we use because it has the dates of the Jewish festivals, and I've just recently started decorating it and using it as a kind of very, very basic family schedule. So just when we're both home, when one of us is away, and when we have something that we're both going to. So tomorrow night we've got date night scheduled, which is very exciting. Something we've been attempting to do for like years. And then we're going to a talk on Thursday, and so just stuff like that, which is, it's unnecessary, but I just wanted to do something happy with stickers. Before that, I was keeping this just for reference and not actually using it, not writing in it. So this is a bit bigger than A5 size, and as you can see, it fits perfectly in here. So that's why I consider these notebook covers like any others, because even though they're officially designed for the disc agenda, you can use them for any other notebook covers, for any other notebooks. And this is the Manta, which is the same thing, except that it's got gold on the inside, and as I said, it doesn't have that snap pocket. It's got the same pocket here, the same awesome pen loop. Everything else about it is the same. And so that's the disc agenda family. So there you have it. Those are all my notebook covers. So I've got Hobonichi, Hobonichi, Filofax Flex, DOI Filofax, Cork, and the Dokibook covers. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Bye!